Hello and welcome to your Monday Footy Feed. Sarah Olle here with Damian Barrett. Damo, it's been a tumultuous 24 hours for the Essendon Football Club. Can you bring us up to speed on the latest? Because what we do know is that in the past day, there's been two board meetings, one either side of that humiliating defeat to Port Adelaide.
Yeah, a highly messy and very, very pointy-ended 24 hours for the Essendon Footy Club. The result of it is, at this stage, and as we speak, a change as president. David Barron would come in to replace Paul Brasher. And again, as we speak, Ben Rutten has survived the conversations around his future, Sarah. That's the outcome of the second of those two meetings. And the timings are more than interesting, coming before the game against Port Adelaide yesterday and again immediately after it in the morning following the game of footy. It's all on the back of the need of some club power brokers to get involved in the Alastair Clarkson negotiations, which to this point have been exclusively the domain of North Melbourne Footy Club and GWS.
We will get to Alastair Clarkson shortly. Just on Paul Brasher, he's stepping down as president, but he's still on the board, is that right?
Extraordinarily so. I mean, he had forecast publicly that he would be moving out of the position. He is staying on the board, at least for the time being. And at least for the time being, Ben Rutten is the man officially installed as coach of the club. There's a lot to play out in that space, and that's the main space and the main level of intrigue now for obviously this football club and the two other clubs officially needing a new coach for next year.
How long will he be there for? Because it's been a messy 24 hours for Ben Rutten.
It has.
And as you say, Alastair Clarkson, he is looming large in the background. Do you expect there to be some movement there?
The strong likelihood of, look, and again, and the outcomes of that, we can then backtrack and retrofit the determinations around it. But particularly the second meeting today, the one that was started in the morning on the Monday today and finished in the afternoon, the early afternoon, it was on the back, Sarah, of power brokers and people at the highest levels of the club telling people who run the club that they need to get involved in Alastair Clarkson negotiations. It was to hopefully, in their eyes, formalise a process around that happening. As we speak, that meeting has concluded. It's still in limbo as to what happens in there. Do
you think there's a chance that even Ben Rutten himself could come out and say, perhaps I don't want to be in this role anymore, given what is playing out behind closed doors?
Yeah, I mean, the public assurances from many at the club, including Paul Brasher, up until basically the game before the weekend, which was the GWS one back in round 21, that too was a bad one for Ben Rutten and the Essendon Footy Club. It's why the meeting was held before the game yesterday against Port Adelaide, and obviously again post that match. Look, anything could happen from here. It's been a mess, and the fact that he has survived this actual meeting itself today says that they weren't able to, in the eyes of some and at the urgings of some, get what they wanted.
What about the CEO, Xavier Campbell? Does he survive? We know that he's actually extended his time until 2024 at the club. That came out through the media. They had to apologise to members. Does he stay? Because he must have a level of culpability as well.
Well, there are a lot of people in footy clubs report to the CEO. So this football department is not performing to expectation. So to answer that question, yes, it is a fresh contract, and contracts at that level with that calibre of person are expensive to pay out. I would think he is not the main person who's the people at the club are wanting to move out. Yes, his future though is in question, as it is with a lot of other people, not just Ben Rutten, but also the football operations boss Josh Marnie as well.
Well, Xavier Campbell, he fronted the media a short time ago.
Ben's our coach of the footy club. As you guys are aware, there's ongoing discussions at board level. They'll continue this week. There'll be an announcement, a statement from the club later today regarding the leadership of the board. And also some further analysis we want to, the board want to do around our football program to drive improvement. And that's something, obviously we presented the board a couple of weeks ago. There's an ambition to drive improvement and make our football program the best program it can be, and that's where we sit at the moment.
Have you spoken to Alastair Clarkson?
I have not spoken to Alastair Clarkson. That's all I'm going to say, guys. We'll release a statement shortly, and hopefully that settles you guys. Thank you very much.
So Damo, I guess the question then is, with Alastair Clarkson and the Bombers, is he most likely to get to the Bombers if he does take up one of these coaching roles? We know North Melbourne have gone all chips in on Clarko, and of course the Giants also have a vacancy there.
Look, I think the situation as we speak right now, North Melbourne remains the clubhouse leader for Alastair Clarkson. It doesn't mean he ends up there, but their offer's more financially lucrative than the Giants. The Giants are hoping to get a form of nudge, wink, wink approval from the AFL Commission to add some ambassadorial money to his arrangement. That can only only be done after he signs it, so it would have to be a leap of faith there. So, yeah, North Melbourne's still in front in that 2-horse race, but the looming third horse, and the reason for these meetings of the past 2 days, Sarah, is the Essendon Footy Club, and that is the unknown runner now in this race.
What would the feeling be like at Arden Street? Because they would have thought that perhaps they already had their man, but this complicates it.
They knew that until you get Alastair Clarkson's signature, it's not done, but they had a high level of comfortability at least, and even confidence in the eyes of some over the past 48 to even 96 hours that it was getting closer. And they were, and this has been expressed today a few times, hopeful of an answer by Wednesday of this week, whether it was going to be made public. But I would think now with this Essendon development, that timeline is being pushed back at least 24 hours, maybe more.
What about your gut feel, Ben Rutten and Alastair Clarkson?
My gut feel is that it's still game on from an Essendon perspective with Clarkson in a very big way.
All right, we'll keep clicking back to the AFL Live app and afl.com.au for all their latest when it comes to the Essendon Football Club and whether or not Ben Rutten will be their man going forward.